Welcome to the Toastmasters Experience. My name is Evelyn. Get inspired by today's Toastmasters insights. Enjoy the show. And welcome to another episode of the Toastmasters Experience. I'm excited and delighted to have Katie with me all the way from Sydney. I'm in the Blue Mountains. She's in Sydney. Welcome to the show, Katie.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here with me. Now we're going to start at the beginning. What motivated you to join Toastmasters? What clubs are you currently in? And how long have you been a Toastmaster?
Well, let's start with the first question. Why did I join Toastmasters? That was back in 2019. And I remembered I'm a married woman. Back then I was married and we had some problems with me and my husband were fighting all the time. Couldn't figure out what was wrong. And then I thought, maybe this is some communication problem. So we were looking for something to improve our communication. I mean, joining Toastmasters definitely is more cost effective than going to a marriage counselor. So yeah, after that, the first meeting, I joined and I said, yes, I'm signing up for both of us. That was the magic starting point.
Okay. And what club was that?
That was Reevesby Toastmasters Club. But currently, I am in Just for Laughs. It's a comedy sort of Toastmaster club.
Right. And so you've been part of Just for Laughs since 2019 as well, or is that a newer club?
So I joined 2019 in the Reevesby Toastmaster Club, and then 2 years later, I joined Just for Laughs. And ever since, I stayed with Just for Laughs.
I find that interesting. I don't think I've ever interviewed anyone who joined Toastmasters for marriage counseling. and so has it helped?
Oh, definitely. Before the Toastmasters, my communication style was like, my husband's name is Kevin. I say, Kevin, you've done this wrong, that wrong. Typical wife, you know. But now, since I've joined Toastmasters, learn all how to give feedback. The conversation is never the same. And become very constructive feedback.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that definitely helped my marriage. And being married now 22 years.
And I know that your daughter, she also did the Gavel Club. Is that correct?
Correct. So when I joined in 2019, back then there was no club for junior public speakers. So I brought her along to Toastmaster Club. And then at that point, we thought, how about we created one for junior public speakers? So about 6 months later, we opened the Gavel Club for junior public speakers, and I took the coordination role. And it's still going. It was amazing.
And is she still a part of the Gavel Club, or has she's probably moved forward?
She moved forward because she's a bit too old for that club, but she stayed in that club for about 4 years. And within that 4 years, she achieved remarkable recognition. She went to the World International Competition for junior speakers, and she got placed, I think, second or third for that contest.
She must be 18 now. Is that correct?
She is 15.
Oh, she's 15. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 15. So she has 3 more years until she can join a Toastmasters club. What has been the most challenging aspect of public speaking for you?
I think the biggest challenging aspect wasn't about going to the stage. I enjoyed the attention. But the problem is, once you go to the stage, how do you hold the attention? And for me, the biggest enjoyment was entertain people. To entertain people isn't easy, but that's my biggest mission. So that's why I stayed in Just for Laughs for these many years, and which they gave me what I wanted. We have learned the skills, how to have humorous element in the speech.
Yeah, and you've actually taken that further.
Yeah, very excitingly, this year I've started stand-up comedy outside the Toastmaster Club, and I've been doing about nearly 60 performances around Sydney as well as in Wollongong, around Wai Wai, everywhere. So it's an amazing experience.
Wow, so this really has happened because of Toastmasters.
Absolutely, absolutely. I cannot imagine without Toastmasters years of practice and learning, I would have the guts of standing on stage to entertain strangers around Sydney.
How long were you in Toastmasters before you realized, hey, I have a gift. I think I can do comedy?
I feel this is an ongoing journey. It's not a time that I feel like I just can't do it. Toastmaster has taught me if you like to do something, there's a risk in it, but you just have a go. And that has opened doors to me. And it's really powerful because with that attitude, I embrace these challenges, willing to give it a go as long as you keep doing it, getting the feedback, and then keep improving, you will get somewhere.
I'm assuming that the other comedians that you perform with, have they actually been Toastmasters as well?
Not really. I think majority people haven't had the Toastmasters experience. I found some female comedians, they struggle with the confidence. They are very funny, very talented. And I felt sometimes because of lack of the Toastmaster experience, they haven't been able to tap to their full potential.
I guess as a Toastmaster, we do get that feedback. And
Yes,
that's probably what helps us to be better
absolutely.
and helps us not to be so sensitive too, if
Yeah.
when someone gives us the feedback. That's interesting that you say female. You don't
Yes.
notice it as much with the male comedians?
Generally speaking, in the comedy world, there are a lot of more male comedians than female. And I think male in general,
Hmm.
men are more confident than women. They're female or women, they are more self-conscious.
Hmm.
And in terms of whether they're who's more funny, I think female comedians, they probably haven't realized that potential themselves. So it's all about the confidence.
Before you embarked on this comedic journey, you must have had this within your, I guess, personality to know that I love being the center of attention. Because you did say that earlier.
Yeah.
So, what made you realize that you were actually quite funny?
Okay. This has to trace back in 2019. I remember the first speech I did, and they were looking for a volunteer to do book review. In my whole life, I probably read less than 5 books outside the class. So I put my hands up and I did a book review, which number one, didn't remember the book. So I sort of bluffed and made up the whole story and I made an edit of myself.
Hmm.
That experience was interesting because I still enjoy the tension,
Hmm.
although my performance really was bad. And then I remember Deb Murphy, who's one of my mentors, and she was an incredible woman. She was the one who, a few months later, she tapped on my shoulder. She said, Katie, I think you should definitely go for the humorous Toastmaster contest. I said, what? I don't do comedy. I don't do humorous stuff. I can't do a book review. And she just gave me the task. And I was so empowered. I said, okay, since someone trusted me, what I'm going to do is just do it. So that was the first time I was trying to write sort of a comedy or humorous speech. And ever since then, that was the starting of my journey.
That
Wasn't that I know I'm funny or someone saying something. It was more like I see something in you, like
Yeah.
she saw something in me.
Now, is there something about Toastmasters which has surprised you?
I have been in Toastmasters. Now, this is my 6th year. It has surprised me in a sense, so many people stayed on. Like, I feel their public speaking already very high level. They don't need to keep doing it. Like, if you think about the public speaking objective, I think they've met their goal, but they keep coming back, stay on. That's surprising to me. If I'm thinking about going to university, okay, 4 years, goodbye, then finish.
Mhm.
But then I realized, oh, it's a journey. It's not like you just finish.
So obviously, Toastmasters has improved your marriage. And it's also improved your professional life as far as, you're doing comedy right now. But is there anything else as far as improving your professional and personal life that it has done for you?
Yeah, I think the benefits of Toastmasters really affect every aspects of my life. As I mentioned before, the approach of taking risk, the way I look at relationship, which is feedback, getting feedback and giving feedback. That's definitely benefit me, I think, for my whole life. And the third part is the network. I am a new migrant here in Australia. All my friends basically are my colleagues. Now, Toastmasters has given me an access of almost unlimited resource of friendship, the support. Even today, like we having this chat because we're both in the Toastmasters club. It's incredible. People are from professional life and they have one common goal is to improve themselves. So it's that is you go anywhere else. I don't do my other sports or other membership in terms of clubs. So Toastmasters has given me the roots to stay in Australia.
You're not originally from Australia.
Yeah.
Was that another factor in joining Toastmasters besides your marriage breaking down? But to think, oh, maybe I need to meet some more Australians?
Yes, definitely. If you probably notice a lot of Chinese first generation migrants, they tend to cluster together. I think it's comfort with the comfortableness with the community based on the language. And I think that's an attraction to me to more integrating into the Australian culture. So I meet people with a different ethnic background, different professions. That's really, really important for me.
So in your professional life, besides comedy,
Mm-hmm.
has Toastmasters helped you in your professional life?
Heaps, really a lot. I started Toastmasters really at the downturn of my career because there's a lot of things have changed at the time. And my general mindset was I'm the person who like to have a stable life, which means office to home. I don't like to deal with the changes. But then when changes throw to me and I feel like, what do I do? Joining Toastmasters, that gives me that approach. I can tackle the challenges and changes in life, in career. So I regularly seeking for support, networking, mentors within my job, which helped me to secure career advancement. So
Okay.
that was incredible. And again, I'm still actively looking for career advancement opportunities. So as well as helping me to prepare to go to do well in my interviews as well.
And so comedy, do you maybe see that as being full time later on down the track?
Yes, so comedy I enjoy a lot. At the moment, I take it as my hobby. And I don't make money from comedy, although I just made $50 for taking on an MC role first time.
Yay!
Unbelievable.
That's lovely.
And I tell my family, look, I said, any hobby, you pay money. And at least this
Yeah.
hobby, I don't need to pay money to
Uh-huh.
do it.
Now with the comedy, how do you actually get hired or how does that work? Is there a network?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. And it's really hard. I think the hardest part is to secure opportunities. So I started with just doing a lot of open mic, which has no doors. You just can go and do it.
Mhm.
And as you do more of that, then you have to be strategic. Where do you perform? Then the people see you really funny and doing good, they can book you in. So far, I'm still at the very bottom of the ladder because I've just started doing that for 6 months. And I regularly perform at Newtown, Laugh Inn, sometimes at a Rose Hotel, and mostly in the inner west suburban areas. I think the more I do it, and then maybe strategically doing some networking, I believe that would lead to more opportunities.
You have to go in it with that mindset, not really worrying about how much money you're going to make, but you
Yeah,
need experience.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
that's
and you
right.
don't just I think from comedy, from what I can imagine, or even just delivering a speech, we sort of get that satisfaction when, people are smiling or they're laughing. That to us I think is payment enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Make entertain people and they have that bonding with you and that already made my,
Yeah.
really satisfy me.
Can you tell me a little bit about Just for Laughs? Like how it's different? Obviously, it focuses on comedy. So,
Yeah.
how is a Toastmasters meeting at Just for Laughs?
Yes. Just for Laughs Comedy Club, similarly to other Toastmasters Club, still have the basic structure, which is table topics, you have speeches, evaluation, but the other bits and pieces are extra, which is very comedy oriented. For example, we often have theater sports,
Mm.
we have 4 minute stand up, and we have laugh counter, and we try to make the humorous element in all speeches or any other components. So that is the difference.
And are you taught during the meeting, like what makes things funny?
Absolutely. We have once a month, the first Friday of each month, it's a Zoom meeting. We call it a comedy workshop, and it will teach you how to make your speech or performance entertaining or funny. I've learned lots and lots of very useful skills through attending those workshops.
Are there members in Just for Laughs who are comedians, who are practicing comedians and making money?
I don't think anyone makes money, but David Marks was the one who introduced me to the comedy.
Yep.
Although he is very busy with work, so he doesn't now do stand-up comedy outside the club. But he did last year, I think, maybe around 57 comedy
Wow.
sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And you just said you've done 60 this year.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. And how many would you do in a month?
I try to do at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my goal. But if over four, that's too stretchy because I have a full-time job.
What has been the most difficult part of doing this?
First one is the physical demand because going from one place to the other, sometimes I get home around midnight. That's very difficult for someone like my age. Number two, keep writing comedy. Sometimes the idea just came, and in the middle of the road, I take my phone out and jot down the notes because if you don't capture that, they're gone. If I have any headspace on the train, I'm thinking about comedy.
Mm-hmm.
That's number two, writing. Number three is about securing your lineups because people don't know you, and how do you get opportunity to perform? And that is another sort of political game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's
it's
not
marketing,
easy.
isn't it? It's actually
Yeah,
marketing. That's just as important in everything. Like if
yeah,
you're, if you're a performer, if you're writing a book, or if you're a dancer or whatever,
yeah.
you have to market yourself. So that would be really difficult. So if anyone is listening right now and they want to get a hold of you because they want you to be an entertainer at their birthday party or wherever, what is the best way for them to contact you?
The best way to contact me is Facebook, and I become more responsive to the Facebook Messenger. Yes,
Okay, Facebook Messenger. And can you give that out right now?
sure.
Okay, go ahead.
My social handle is KTYZ.
KTYZ. So KATIEYZ.
That's
Perfect.
correct.
And I'll put it in the show notes as well. So that's your comedy name as well, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's great. So what's next for you, Katie?
My next is try to do as much as possible in comedy, stand-up comedy. And I love to go to different venues. But at the same time, I also love to have opportunities to facilitate or even take on a wedding facilitation.
Yeah.
So,
MC at a wedding. That would be
yeah,
great. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
wedding.
Yeah, there's so many opportunities when you can speak well and when you can entertain, and obviously you can. So that's something else that you can look forward to. So you
Yes.
are in an academic role, is that correct? Your professional life is academic.
No, I am a program coordinator for at the university to manage a student internship through a scholarship program.
Okay, okay. Are you able to speak a lot with your job?
Yeah, I do presentation at different schools within engineering. I meet with the industry companies to talk about the program and get sponsorship, and also present student information sessions. So yes, there are regular public speaking opportunities for me.
Do you see any sort of leadership roles that you might be taking on with Toastmasters?
I've done my Toastmasters leadership role, such as the area director, and yesterday I just got awarded the badge of DTM, Distinguished
Really? Oh,
Toastmaster.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you, thank you. I got it actually from 2023, but the badge just finally came, which was really lovely to receive it yesterday at the Just for Laughs meeting. I found the being an area director role that's actually between 2019 and 2020 was transformational for me. And that was the only experience of my leadership role. Being able to work with others, inspire others, and improve the organizational skills that just the area directorship offers it all.
Oh, wow. So you obviously did that role right when you joined.
Yeah, six
Wow.
months after I joined.
Wow. So they obviously talked you into it. What
Then,
was sorry. I was just thinking, was that their advice? To help your marriage, you have to be area director.
I think that was not really planned, and there was just the vacancy, and they asked whether I would be interested. And I thought, wow, that is a huge opportunity. So I stepped into that, and I worked with my division director, Paul Gurran. He's a wonderful mentor. He helped me in many, many ways. So I'm very grateful for his support.
Yeah.
And today, when I look back in terms of my leadership role, I think that mentor Paul has played a tremendous difference.
So, what does communication mean to you?
Communication is a big word for me. And I thought communication before was about talking. Actually, I got all wrong. What I've learned most is actually about listening. So
Yeah.
communication focuses on active listening and listen with the purpose of when you are building relationship, the how to give good feedback, constructive feedback, and identify the gap, like what other people want, and you can provide that contribution. And that builds a bridge between you and a stranger or a friend. And I think that's my interpretation of a communication.
So, I want to ask, how are things with you and Kevin? And is he still in Toastmasters?
Well, he stopped Toastmasters. He had his time. He was area director for 2 terms. He got what he wanted, and now he's focusing more on volleyball, other sports. But he's very happy to support me to either picking me up from the meeting or sometimes he joined as well. He's not as committed as me, and I've got to respect that. So that's cool with me.
Yeah, that's great. So, you still are giving each other feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I love it. Now, what advice would you give someone considering joining Toastmasters?
I think Toastmasters, if they are thinking about it, you have to look this way. It's not like you join, you lock in, you can't get out. So that's definitely not the case. I feel if you remember in Thailand, people become a monk in their life once, everybody has to do it. I feel Toastmaster should be like that. Everybody should just join Toastmaster. You can stay for 2 months, 3 months. If you don't like it, you can, go back and to do some other things. But that 2 or 3 months or whatever experience will change everything. I still have friends who talked about his wife's Toastmaster experience. His wife stayed for 6 months, but that impacted her life as well as how her family relationship. So definitely everybody should just try once. It's like TikTok. You got to do it. Try once. Then you decide.
It does. It does. You're absolutely right, because people join and they might join for a year or a few months, and then I'll run into someone and I'll tell them I'm in Toastmasters. Like, oh, I was a member 10 years ago. It changed my life. But you're right. Some people just, like us, we stay in it forever, and some people just join for that short period but they still remember it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Hey, it's been such a pleasure having you on the podcast today, and thank you so much for joining me on today's show.
My pleasure. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much for your company. Please tune in next time to the Toastmasters Experience.